You're still here, and that means your story isn't over yet. Take a breath. Not the kind you take when you're rushing. Not the shallow one you take when you're anxious. A real one. In through your nose. Hold it for a moment. And let it go slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let the noise in your head soften, just a little. Because if you're listening to this right now, it means something important. It means you didn't quit. You thought about it. Maybe quietly. Maybe in moments you'd never admit to anyone else. Moments where giving up felt easier than holding on. Moments where disappearing felt more peaceful than continuing. But you didn't quit. And before we go any further, you need to understand this. That matters more than you think. There are nights when the world feels heavier than usual. The kind of nights where silence isn't peaceful, it's loud. Where your phone stays quiet, but your mind doesn't. Where your room feels smaller, like the walls are slowly closing in. You lie there staring at the ceiling, replaying your life like a movie you didn't mean to put on. Everything you didn't say, everything you didn't do, everything you thought you'd be by now. You wonder how everyone else seems to be moving forward, getting ahead, building something, becoming someone, while you feel stuck in the same place. Same thoughts, same fears, same unanswered questions. You don't even feel dramatic anymore. You just feel tired. Tired of hoping. Tired of starting over. Tired of being strong when nobody sees it. Tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. And the hardest part, you don't even know how to explain this feeling to anyone. So you keep it inside. You smile when you're supposed to. You laugh when it's expected. You show up, do what needs to be done, say, I'm fine, like it's muscle memory. And quietly, you carry a weight nobody knows you're holding. But listen to me. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still trying, still searching for something that makes sense, means your story is not finished. Not even close. People talk a lot about success. They talk about discipline. They talk about mindset. They talk about grinding, and winning, and never giving up. They show you the highlights. They show you the results. They show you the finish line. What they don't show you is the middle. They don't show you the nights where nothing made sense. The mornings where getting out of bed felt like a battle. The seasons where effort didn't equal progress. They don't show you the days they questioned everything, their path, their worth, their future. They don't talk about the times they woke up with no motivation, no confidence, no clarity, and still had to keep going. Because the truth is this. Real growth doesn't look powerful while it's happening. It doesn't look confident. It doesn't look exciting. It looks lonely. It looks slow. It looks like doubt. It looks like doing the right thing when nobody is watching. It looks like continuing when you don't feel inspired. It looks like choosing not to quit, quietly, painfully, repeatedly. And that's where you are right now. In the part nobody claps for. In the chapter nobody posts about. In the season that doesn't come with applause or validation. But this chapter, this one matters. Let me say something you might need to hear, something you may have been waiting a long time to hear. You are not weak for feeling lost. You are not broken for feeling behind. You are not failing because things are taking longer than you expected. You are human. And humans do not grow on schedules. They grow in seasons. Some seasons are loud and exciting. Some seasons feel like momentum and breakthroughs and clarity. And others are quiet, heavy, uncomfortable. The quiet seasons are the ones where nothing seems to be happening, but everything is changing. Because when there's no applause, when there's no validation, when there's no guarantee it will work out, that's when you find out who you really are. Not who you pretend to be. Not who you show the world. Who you are when it's just you and your thoughts. Think about everything you've survived. The disappointments that almost crushed you. The moments where you felt invisible, overlooked, forgotten. The plans you were sure would work out, and didn't. The people who promised to stay, and left. The doors you knocked on that never opened. The prayers that felt unanswered. You didn't come this far by accident. You're still standing because something inside you refused to give up, even when you didn't understand why. Even when quitting felt logical. Even when staying felt pointless. Even when hope felt foolish. That quiet resistance inside you. That's strength. Not loud strength. Not dramatic strength. But real strength. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that survives in silence. There is a version of you that exists on the other side of this struggle. A version of you who understands why this pain was necessary. A version of you who sees the bigger picture. A version of you who looks back and says, now I get it. But you can't meet that version if you stop here. You can't reach tomorrow if you abandon today. So if all you can do right now is breathe, breathe. If all you can do right now is get through the next hour, do that. If all you can do right now is not give up, then that is enough. For now, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to stay. Pressure lies to us. It tells us we're running out of time. It tells us we should be further ahead. It tells us everyone else has it figured out. Let me say this clearly. You do not need to have your whole life figured out. Not now. Not today. You just need to keep moving, slowly, imperfectly, honestly. One step, one decision, one small act of courage at a time. Progress doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like survival. And survival is still forward movement. There will be days when motivation disappears. Days when discipline feels impossible. Days when your mind turns against you. Days when it whispers things like, "It's too late. You're wasting your time. You're not good enough. Why even try?" Those voices are not truth. They are fear. Fear trying to protect you from disappointment. Fear trying to keep you small because small feels safe. But comfort has never built a meaningful life. Growth asks something uncomfortable of you. It asks you to show up even when you don't feel ready. It asks you to believe in yourself before you have proof. It asks you to keep going without knowing how the story ends. And yes, that's terrifying. But that's also where transformation lives. You weren't meant to peak early and fade quietly. You weren't meant to give up on yourself just because the road got hard. You were built for endurance, for resilience, for depth. The fact that life has tested you this much means there is something valuable inside you worth protecting, shaping, and refining. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it reveals it. One day, someone is going to hear your story and feel less alone. One day, your pain will make sense, not because it was easy, but because it gave you empathy, strength, and wisdom. One day, the very thing that almost broke you will become the reason you can stand taller. But today is about staying, about choosing not to disappear, about choosing not to numb yourself into nothingness, about choosing to believe, even a little, that this isn't the end. Because unseen, progress still counts. So when you feel like you're falling behind, remember this. You're not late. You're not lost. You're not done. You're becoming. And becoming is messy. It's slow. It's uncomfortable. But it's real. If nobody has told you this lately, let me be the one. I'm proud of you. Proud of you for continuing. For waking up again. For trying again. For carrying things you never asked for, and still standing. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to stay. Stay one more day. Stay one more step. Stay one more breath. Because the fact that you're still here, that means your story isn't over yet. And the best chapters, they don't begin when everything is perfect. They begin the moment you decide, quietly, stubbornly, bravely, not to give up.